Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
It is another corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
We're live on Twitch and YouTube. We'd love it if you join us. Just come on over to where you watch your videos and your YouTube videos and find us. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live. If you're a Twitch person, if you're a gamer, we are also in there. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live as well. Find us on all the social medias and follow us because we're doing events. I know that we will be doing another beer fest at some point, and like there's things out there in the universe that I know Tom is like, got to start doing some stuff.
No, I just was emailing this morning, talking to a couple people about the beer fest. That's happening November 22nd.
Yep.
Then, of course, Sofa and Suds on the 23rd, which we got a meeting with Paul this week about.
Nice.
And we also have a family-friendly skate event going on at Cimarron Skateway July 12th. And it's free. Mo DeWitt is sponsoring everything.
And again, family-friendly, guys.
Yeah. Bring your family or just bring yourselves. It's just it's open to anybody who wants to come, and it's all free, and it's from 5 to 7. Get there early. Fill out the form. You have to register at justcallmo.com/skate. I talked to Busdecker. He said that,
Which is hard, by the way. Talking to that guy. Oh God! Many undotted I's and uncrossed T's. This guy doesn't know what direction he's going in.
There's only 300 more spots.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
And then it's sold out, or at least where their Cimarron Skateway's at capacity.
We should make Bus run a second, like an outdoor skating ring. He can run an outdoor skating ring.
I don't mean to. Okay. I don't believe it. I don't believe that 950 people have already registered. I think Bus is lying. That's it.
Wow. All right. That was bold. That's bold. Normally, I beat around the bush.
I can't believe it.
Known as Little Danny beat around the bush.
That's a lot.
You went right for it. It's impressive. People like Mo.
I think maybe it's
Have
a
you
family
been injured
event?
on the go? Do you know who to call? We have a problem in my house because Maisie's been saying, injured on the way, just call May. And I'm like, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Oh, you got to get
But
her.
she's been saying, injured on the way, just call May. And now she wants to do a commercial with Mo.
Who's the Doogie Howser of lawyers? Like, can you become a lawyer
very young
at like 15?
I don't know if she has the smarts for that, buddy. She might have the jumping ability, but
you don't need the smarts. You just need the dedication.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, Mo is one of the smartest people I've ever met.
But there's also attorneys in town that splash champagne in their eyes. We know those guys that ride Colombian horses. We know those guys.
No.
The Colombian horse riders.
I'll sue us. They're crazy.
For saying he sprayed champagne in his eyes?
Yeah,
you know what I say?
No,
come to get me. Because I saw the video.
Crazy.
I saw the video. Come and get me. Leopard print shirt, champagne straight in the eyes. Flo Rida was pumping up the crowd.
Anyway, Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser. What you want me to spell? Doogie Howser?
Do you have to just be 18? Is there 18,
I think you could be younger than that, right? Why can't you? Why do you have to be 18 to be a lawyer? Why?
Well, I guess because you're an adult, you can't. You have to be a legal adult, I believe.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? It's all about intelligence and what you know.
Ask Mo.
It has nothing to do with your age.
Yeah. Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser.
He was under 18.
Yeah, he was a doctor, though.
That's harder. You're in charge of someone's life.
Well, you're in charge of someone's life, too. Well, you could.
None of your,
you send them up the river.
A defense attorney.
Hey, you're talking family-friendly events, and I would like to beg your permission for a small pivot here of something else I wrote down. You were talking about family-friendly. Family-friendly. We're doing a good skating event out there at Cimarron Skateway, and we really want you to bring your families, grandma, all the kids, and come out and skate with us. Have you heard the term Nateland? Does that mean anything to you? Nateland.
No.
Okay. Did you know, I read an article this morning, that it is comedian Nate Bargatze, who is, at this moment, he is the top-tier comedian. He's the guy. Bigger than Chappelle, bigger than anybody. He's the guy, right?
Which is crazy that he was in here and we didn't know. We're like, who?
Well, we knew who he was.
Another white dude coming in here.
Who's this boring white guy? He couldn't get on Letterman because he was told he was, quote, too mundane. He had to look that word up.
Oh, before.
I don't know if that's a joke or not, but he put it in the article.
Before he got,
Yeah, couldn't get on Letterman, any of this. He's the biggest comedian in the world. And do you know what he has claimed in this article that was released today? I forget what I read. Like, it's in a big publication. Anybody can go out there and find it. He claims that he is about to leave in the next month on his biggest tour that he's ever done.
Okay.
Then after
Is that the My Big Dumb Eyes?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay,
Big Dumb Eyes.
because I've seen it.
He's got a book called Big Dumb Eyes that I think came out.
He's coming to the arena.
I was thinking of trying to scoop up some of the upper bowls.
Yeah.
I'm good on, man. I'll tell you, the secret to living in Orlando is don't sleep on the upper bowl. We have amazing facilities here. Upper bowl is just fine.
But then I'm just watching it on TV. And I'm like,
I know, it's awesome. You're naked.
Yeah. But
okay, anyway, back to this. Okay, so he claims he's going to go out on this tour, Big Dumb Eyes. After that, he's going to do one more big stand-up tour. This is a 5-year plan. Then after that, and let me get my paperwork here, he has decided to, he is going to quit and form, and he's already done the back-end work on this.
Okay.
He's forming a full entertainment company called Nateland. He's going to start a farm system for younger comedians that can come up under his brand, and he can give them guidance.
Okay.
He's going to start he has co-written and he's starring in his first movie this year. So that's the beginning of it.
Okay.
Then he's going to start producing family-friendly TV shows. And he wants to buy the area that used to be in Nashville, Opryland theme park, and make it a real theme park called Nateland. And he's not kidding. This is not a joke. This is not he's goofing around. He sees that family-friendly, I don't curse, people still think I'm funny lane. I'm the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
He says, you know what? I'm doing the stand-up thing now, 5-year plan, and I'm out. And then I'm going to concentrate on my company. I'm going to concentrate on buying the Opry. He's already sourcing how to create a theme park. He's already doing the back-end work on, like, how I'm going to do it. I'm going to model it like after Dolly Parton. I'm going to, whatever. I'm going to put it in the area of Opryland because he grew up. I've been to Opryland as a young boy.
Yeah.
He's using nostalgia to fuel his own dreams. I don't know,
great.
dude. It's a great article. And you talking about family-friendly, the Mo Skate deal. I'm like, people there's a lot of sadness out there right now. We like being with other humans and seeing the real. And the real is not on the internet. The real is inside Cimarron Skateway, skating with a bunch of fun people and having a great time. That's the family. That's the village. That's the the live your life part. I'm with him. I think it's a very clever idea, and I admire the fact that here's a guy that's never worked blue. It's not. He doesn't. I don't think he enjoys it, right? Like I do. I like filthy, dirty. I mean, it's everybody's different.
Yeah.
But like you look at him and he's.
I like both. Because
I do too.
I really enjoy his comedy.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
funny.
Funny's funny. It doesn't matter if it's dirty or clean. If it's
I just
want
to laugh.
Yeah.
And I don't find
do
him
both.
mundane at all. In fact, I find his delivery to be the thing I love the most. Like the fact that he is like kind of plodding along gently. I love that.
Here's what I would worry about if I was him. And obviously I'm not. So this could be a passion of his.
Well, the big one is not just the theme park. Let me add this, is that he wants to do like all of the shows that were big on like ABC, like the TGIF, like the Full House, the Home Improvement, all of that. He wants to bring that back.
Okay,
that's his biggest thing. Is he's like, I see a market. I see in television, what do we have? We got like reality shows. You got some game shows. You got like Squid Game, Ultraviolence. You got like Game of Thrones, stuff like that. But where's the Family Matters?
So here's the risk of this.
Okay.
And this is what I'm thinking.
It's
just as thinking in the business terms, right? And also
I never think in business terms.
In enjoyment of life, there's two things here. One is, and I realize this as I've gotten older and, seeing the reality of like your day-to-day operations with doing anything, is like he loves to do stand-up, obviously, right? And this is how he became so good at it.
I don't know. I think he does, but after reading the article, it sounds like he does and he doesn't. Like, it seemed to me like he could take it or leave it. He's got bigger plans. And I'm not used to people with that because, honestly, man, I'm doing my plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I never went further than this. Like, I enjoyed doing this. This is fine for me.
I'm only guessing or theorizing that he loves stand-up just because that's the lane he went into. And he obviously had to practice and grind a lot to even get to where he is. Like even when we interviewed him, he was doing the improv circuit, and before that, he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen how you come up and stand up. So you know he's used to doing that. And now he's, dabbling in or just start a theme park and start a production company. And when you get into running a theme park or production company, now he could just maybe hire managers to do that.
Here, let me,
And but you still, if this is what you want to do, you want your hand in it. So you want to making decisions, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you have a guy running and managing people, but he's still making decisions, and that's a full-time job.
So his full plan is making and starring in movies and TV shows, which he's already got the first one written in, and it's being filmed now.
Yeah.
He wants to launch a line of family-friendly media content similar in the tone of TGIF. He wants to do more books, and he wants to produce more podcasts. Now, he's worth like $500 million. He wants to create a farm system for new comedians. That's the one that I thought was the most interesting, is that much like sports, he wants to have like more of a mentorship program. Like, it's kind of like, how many times have we heard local comedians here in Orlando talk about Ken Miller being the greatest mentor to Orlando's younger comics?
Yeah.
Because he's been doing it for so long, right? So like I think he's trying to do a little bit of that, but like at a very, very, very high, or the highest level. But then it says what he's already done so far. So he already launched Nateland Productions. He already hired more than a dozen employees that are working for Nateland. He already wrote the first movie, and it's being filmed. He already started all of the market research for the theme park. So that's going on right now. Like, they're planning it. And he already rolled out his Nateland brand.
So going back to now you're doing all these things, and
too many plates, you think?
Your day-to-day ends up being, it's like Monday we have meetings about the theme park, Mondays and Fridays. Tuesdays we got meetings about the production schedule for our new sitcoms that we're, and then all of a sudden now you're working this 9-to-5 job where you're essentially the head of the production company and the head of the theme park, and you're the boss. So then that job is completely different than what his job is now.
I think that's what he wants to do, though.
And then, but if that's great if you end up doing that and you're like, I like it,
right.
But you're like, what if it's not what you like?
Right.
And you just, now you're working an office job, and and you're like, oh man, I like doing stand-up, and I like the road, and I like writing jokes, but I don't like this.
It's funny because the tone of the article is very much from the person writing it, the same question you have, and he's adamant. He is dead. He is dead set. He's like, nope, I'm out. And the more surprising part is that he's doing a beyond Seinfeld in saying that he's out in 5. Like, so if you want to see him right now, you better save your money, because if he's dead set on his plan, he is not going to tour like he tours now. Like, he does world tours now where he can come to any state.
And then the second risk I see here is, as of right now, everybody, because of his success, likes his stand-up specials, right? We all watch them on Netflix, and we all see, and they're funny, right? And we all like going to his stand-up and watching him live. Obviously, based on he's doing arenas, like $100 million tours, right?
Huge.
So that's what we know for sure, 100%. People like Nate Bargatze's stand-up.
Yeah.
It's not a guarantee they're going to like whatever else, because all this other stuff he's not involved in.
You always hate the untested.
Well,
but you got to try stuff. See,
of course,
I admire more him wanting to do it than to. Hold on, somebody's calling us. I think it's the chat room, because they are all about Opryland theme park for whatever reason. Let's see if I got him here. Thanks for calling, Tom and Dan. Who's this?
Hey, it's Kara.
You want to talk about Opryland? So you're Kara's fired up. She's like all about Opryland. Go, Kara, tell us.
Listen, Tom, you are just wrong on this one, buddy. This is Nate's dream. I absolutely loved Opryland as a kid and into a young adult, and was so sad when they closed it down. Everyone in Tennessee will 100% support this, and it's Nate's dream. He has the money to do it now. If you had the money, just like ultimate money, to to live your dream, would you not just quit everything else and fixate on that?
It's funny, Kara, what you hear or you thought you heard me say. I didn't say it wasn't going to work. I was just questioning a man's dream. That's what I do. You see what I'm saying,
He's
Kara?
a dream questioner.
I question my own dreams. You see, like at one point, my dream was to sail around the world with my wife
Hold
on a sailboat.
I question that dream.
No.
I was like,
Well, that's a crazy dream.
that's a stupid dream.
And then it dawned on me all the work and the other stuff you'd have to learn, and it's not. You only romanticize the good parts of it. You don't see the grind of it and all stuff. So
I think he's prepared though. I mean, he's $500 million, man. How do you not? He could just throw money at everything now.
No, of course. I just find it interesting to talk about. Yeah, this is what he wants to do, and good for him. He's got enough money that even if he wasted $100 million, who cares? He's got infinite money. I just find it interesting talking about like all the potential hazards of this, and then getting yourself, because sometimes you look at what you want, what your dreams are, then you build yourself a
prison of dreams.
You build yourself like, okay, this is what it takes to have these dreams, and you're like, oh, now I'm like doing all this work that I didn't necessarily want to do, or like my day-to-day life is not what it was. Maybe I don't know why I did this.
I'm pretty sure he'll think about that. Hey, Kara, tell us real quick, why does Opryland resonate with you so much and with other people? Because, I've been to Dollywood this past weekend. I loved every second of it. I think it's a top tier. If you like roller coasters, I'm just going to say it. I've never been to a theme park that has better roller coasters than Dollywood. Now, with that being said,
let me just add.
Yeah, you said that Opryland would give it a run for its money back in the day. So, and I went there as a kid, but I don't remember it.
So some of the roller coasters that are at Dollywood were actually taken from Opryland when they dismantled it. So some of those roller coasters that you enjoyed at Dollywood are from Opryland. And I'm telling you, it was just a beautiful park. Everyone was, Nashville's just so friendly in general, but also there was some music aspect to it. So there were different themed areas, like rock. Like it was just different.
They're gonna retheme it this year. They're gonna have a Morgan Wallen ride where you get up on the top of a bar and you launch a bar stool off the top of it, and then they're gonna have a Shabuzi ride. Park.
It was just a really amazing park, and I cannot stress that anyone in the Nashville area or in Tennessee will 100% support. It is one of the things that everyone that is a Nashville native says how much they miss is Opryland USA. And to bring anything that is even remotely close to that will be a boom for whoever does it. And that's just a fact.
It's a good way for Nate Bargatze to immortalize himself in Tennessee.
I think that's what he wants to kind of do.
And if you build yourself a theme park, like that's pretty high in, I guess, making yourself a legend in the town.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
we did an Airbnb in Sanford.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, we shut it down.
Yeah, we shut it down. Sorry. Yeah. Jizzerton Land has been shut down after 3 years of how many lesbians did we push through our Airbnb before it closed down, Tom?
So I wonder what he's like if you're building a theme park, you rides and then what else?
I think you just copy the blueprint that was there. Because that's all Dolly's done, man. Come on. It's not like, okay, like they did a really nice job at Dollywood in that, like, they took the butterfly theme that she has. So everything is like bugs and flowers, right? And you're in the middle of the woods. So they have and they split it up. So you have like one area is like country music superstars. And then the next area is like the fairies and the butterflies. And then the next area is Main Street, USA. And then the next area is old school carnival games. So you just separate it. You just look at what Opryland was, and he's creative enough to go through and change all the stuff. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty interesting article, but
it is. And you always the good thing about like announcing this is it is you can always go back and no one cares. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, even in 10 years from now.
I wonder if he thinks about that. I bet he does.
Yeah, and 50, because, you know, it's like announcing your retirement and then coming back out of retirement. People have been doing it for years, and like no one's like, no way, how dare he betray my trust? Like, people are just like, okay, I'll see him now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you can always come out of retirement 10 years and then do, although that's a hard thing. Like, once I feel like once you get into that stand up, the writing, the performing, you get out of it for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it takes a while to get back in.
I forget who it was that was talking to Eddie Murphy. And then I have another story I want to throw to you. There's somebody talking to Eddie Murphy last week. It came in as a headline. They were like, and Eddie Murphy admitted that this particular big comedian, it's another big black comedian, was talking to him and was like, nah, man, you can't do stand-up now. And Eddie's like, what do you mean? And the guy's like, you're not funny anymore. And Eddie's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you haven't been doing this at all. Like, you haven't done this in 20 years, 30 years. Like, you don't know. You're not. You're back at the beginning again.
What could he?
And I don't necessarily believe that. But I'm not a stand-up comedian, so I don't know.
Okay. Have you seen? I was going to talk to Ross about this yesterday. There's been an uptick in one-man show style stand-up specials. Sarah Silverman, Crystal watched Sarah Silverman's new special, and it's
pretty dark. Dude.
It's about her dead parents,
Yeah.
But it's more of a one-woman show style, like stand-up special. Than
like Jeff
Ross
doing.
And then we just watched another person. God, who was it?
There's too many comedians. Everybody's having to show that they can do something else.
Another comedian just did, and when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is like a one-man show style.
Moses Storm tried to do one, but he got sick. He was another up-and-comer.
And so I think they just figured out a formula of like, hey, just like I can tell a story about my life, make it funny. Like I'll go and work it out in some clubs.
Sarah weave in some tragedy, man. Like, she told some stories on that press tour about her dad killing her brother. Like, you remember that? You didn't see that? She revealed that she thinks that she kind of put the pieces together after talking to her dad, and her grandfather, must have shook her little brother to death. And her dad revealed that to her, like, on his deathbed. And he's been carrying that on his mind and on his heart and in his life.
Hold on. So, like, his dad?
Sarah Silverman's little brother was staying with her grandfather.
Okay.
And the baby must have been uncontrollably crying like babies do.
Yeah.
And the grandfather was known to have a temper and was kind of an insufferable dude. And he must have picked the baby up and shook it. And they covered it up sort of within the family, and it like her little brother died. And then on his deathbed, I could be getting this a little bit wrong, but I think I'm pretty close. On his deathbed, Sarah Silverman's father revealed to her that the grandfather had shook her little brother to death.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
that wasn't in the special.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, she's one of those people that can, like, she's like that type of performer to me that can, like, John Leguizamo is another one of those guys that can do the super funny and super sad.
Yeah,
like, they can bring you in, and Jeff Ross can do it. I think people are doing that because this is just my theory. With so many people having voices and so many people having microphones, so many people having podcasts, including us, I think it's harder now for people that professionally stand in front of microphones to get people to pay attention to you. So you can't just do comedy. You got to show them a little something else. You got to be a little more human. You got to you got to give them more.
Also, maybe like an easier equation for them because, like, as you know, when you mix in the super heavy stuff, sometimes it's easier to get the laugh after because you're going up and down with the motions and so you're going kind of dark.
Yeah, make them tender a little bit. Yeah, it's easier to.
It's like comedy at a funeral.
Yeah,
it's an easy audience to make laugh because everybody's so tense and it's so serious. Then you use levity and then break them out of it.
Yeah.
And so when I was watching her do it, and then I was watching this other comedian do like a one-man special where it's like it's a comedy special, but there's heavy stuff in there too. I was like, man, I bet this is like a new trend that a lot of these comedians are going to start doing because it looked easier for them to put together rather than come up with an hour of straight jokes that you work on the road or whatever.
In some way, it might be more authentic.
Yeah.
Because straight jokes is not real.
Yeah, and then I know you're kind of telling stories and comedy stories about your
I
life.
love it,
but
like the Jeff Ross thing, the Have a Banana for the Road or whatever it is, because we interviewed him a couple weeks ago. You guys can go back and listen to it if you want to. I want to see that so bad because I've always liked that. I always like it when people weave in their family somehow. I don't have a lot of family. Maybe that's why I gravitate to it. You know, like that's why I was so into your trip to Sweden and the fact that you're standing in a barn that belongs to your family. Like that's wild to me. That's wild.
Yeah. Her family.
Doesn't matter. You're in it.
I'm not. I'm not the bloodline.
Doesn't matter. You're
I
connected.
signed the barn door, and I was like, I feel like I'm disgracing your bloodline because I'm outside, and they're like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they're so
They're
nice.
like, you think this is more important than it is. this is a door we use every day, and I'm like, I forgot. I mean, like this is just your door.
All right, let's jump into like what I think the media isn't telling you.
Okay.
Let's jump into this Disney cruise ship kid.
Yes, I saw this. You told me about this yesterday.
Yeah, so apparently, let me get up my details here because I've been trying to get all the details of this and do some really deep digging into this. So
just give me the gist of the story first.
Okay, so the Disney Dream cruise ship was returning from the Bahamas. It had a regular Bahama itinerary, and apparently a 4 or 5-year-old girl, this was on June 29th, young girl fell overboard from the ship's 4th deck, and her father immediately jumped into the ocean after her. The crew responded within moments, launching a rescue boat and recovering both the child and the father from the water in a matter of minutes. Now, I used AI to do a deep research of all the articles that have been written about this because I was telling this to my wife one morning. We were talking about it over breakfast.
Yes.
And she was like, hey, did you hear about the Disney Dream? I was like, no, what happened? She's like, 4-year-old fell overboard. I go, oh, really? And we said it at the same time. We turned to each other and we're like, that doesn't happen. This is not a thing that happens.
Yes.
And I know that I sound like Tom when I say that, and it feels pretty good. You know what? Maybe you've got it right. I like these declarative statements are fun, man.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. The cruise ship is very protected against this situation.
And Disney even more than any cruise ship.
Yeah, making sure that every area a child could fit through is sealed up.
No, my wife knows. She's been on them. She goes, they've got
no
plexiglass.
accidents.
She's like, there's plexiglass on everything.
Yeah.
My wife has been on so many cruises.
A baby couldn't squeeze their way
she's in there.
out of the thing. Now, climbing over the railing is a possibility.
What if your dad sat you on the railing, Tom?
That's another possibility.
Well, it says right here, according to my deep research on the internet, and this is, I have footnotes from People Magazine, it says that witness accounts, which I know are unreliable, but it says that people saw, this is a quote, a little girl fell overboard and her father jumped in to save her. Apparently, the dad set her on the railing. Then someone said, yes, I saw the dad put the kid on the rail to take a photo and the kid fell off. Okay, here's my thing. Everybody's touting this man as a hero. He is not a hero. But he is also not a villain. He fixed the mistake.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul. We're
Even
good.
Steven.
Thank you. I wrote down even Steven. That's why we're in business together. He is fine.
Yeah.
We're all good.
You should not praise him. Do not attack him.
Do not attack him and do not praise him. He is back. He's normal now. He fixed his mistake.
And he's getting it from his wife.
Oh, trust me.
Also,
they're probably divorced. They're probably done, right?
His daughter, who also knows what happens.
Therapy.
Therapy.
How are you going to fix that?
Yeah. Well,
That's nightmares for life. So my point is, look, if he did set her up there, which he might have, I'm not saying he did, but if he sat her up there to take the picture and she fell, he jumped in, he fixed the mistake. Could have been $50,000 mistake. I don't care. He is in my book, in the Tom and Dan.
But you're right.
Scales of justice. Tell me, am I right or am I right?
No, 100%. Because he is no hero. You can't claim you're a hero if you caused the person to fall.
You cannot.
Or at least not cause, but you set her up for failure.
That's fantastic. You set her up for failure.
Yeah. And then, if you didn't sit her up there, she wouldn't have fallen.
Correct. So we're even, and now Disney. All right, because now there's other reports saying the dad can be charged. Now they're saying the dad could get in trouble for jumping over. That's not fair. He fixed the mistake.
Yeah,
you got to let him have this one.
Well, you could say he's child endangerment from putting your kid on a rail, but we've all done.
But
this.
he also saved the kid, which I think is against child endangerment.
Yeah, and then it's back to even again.
Yeah, Concrete Toad in our Twitch chat room says no flotation device. He was treading water for 20 minutes. Not a hero because he's fixing the problem.
That's what he gets.
Yeah, but that's what. Thank you. That's what you get.
Yeah. Now,
but we're not going to be able to do that, right? Like this.
I won't even say he has balls because any dad that is listening would have jumped in.
You don't have balls.
Every dad I know would have jumped in. Of course.
You don't have balls if you're trying to fix a mistake either.
If my kid falls off a building that you cannot survive from, I'm jumping after them.
Okay, Christina's asking a question.
I will die as well.
Christina's asking a question. So if I crash my car, crawl back in to save my child, am I also a hero? No. You crashed the car. You saved the child. You're back to zero.
Now,
you're back to zero.
Was it your fault? Were you drunk driving?
If you were drunk driving and crashed your car, then crawled back in to save your child, you're even.
Yeah.
Why, is this so hard for people to get a hold of? Like, look, it's a one-in-one scenario. It's 1-in-1.
Unless you crashed into another whole family, then you're...
Are they dead or alive?
Yeah. They are dead.
Okay,
then you're minus
that's
one.
A tough one. Now, hold on.
You were back to villain.
I crash into a family.
Yes.
I saved my daughter. Then I also saved the family.
Oh, okay. No, well, you know what? I mean, that's good.
That's a rough back to zero. I feel like it's a rough back to zero. If everybody is alive.
Yeah. But, there's some people that are hurt, right? Or, like you had to
scratches,
save
me. Bruises, bruising, airbag, little heat on the face.
Well, then I would make the argument you didn't save me. You just came to see if I was
you could
okay.
be dead. I did have to crawl in there. I had already crawled in my car and saved my daughter.
So imagine the OS.
Because he had 3 Bahama Mamas in it when he had to make that jump, and that's hard. Because you contemplate going, you're like, should I do it? And you're like 3 Bahama Mamas. You can't even see.
And then you swim away from the cruise ship because...
Well, that's because it's... let's talk about that.
Okay.
Why do you swim away from the cruise ship?
So, okay.
You know why? It's just because we all think that we're going to get sucked under by the cruise ship.
And I don't think that happens.
I don't think that happens.
So... I remember in South Beach, Miami, when I was a young Tom Van, a teen.
Yeah, but he looked haircut like Vanilla Ice.
We used to take the bus and the train over to South Beach Pier, which is, I believe, is Government's Cut, where the cruise ships go in.
Yes.
It's the pier at South Beach. And we used to jump off the pier. And then you'd climb up the rocks back to and you just do that over and over as teens. And when cruise ships would come by, we'd jump off the pier, and the current would be super strong, would basically pull you towards where the cruise ship is going because it essentially,
Yeah, it's inertia.
And it was shockingly strong for the cruise ship was probably, 50 yards away from, it was pretty far.
Yeah.
And still, even that, it probably has to do with the shallowness of the inlet.
I would guess that it'd be stronger a little bit further away than it would be on the surface of the water close to the cruise ship. I don't know why I think that. Yeah. But for whatever reason, my brain is telling me if you fall straight down and the cruise ship's going straight, that it isn't just going to instantly by the sides of the boat suck you under. That doesn't make sense. It would suck you under further out because as the boat is going, the currents move further out because that's the way water moves as a ripple effect.
The side of that boat is also, it's, I imagine another 20 foot deep. So... it would have to suck you down.
Our tugboat buddy is telling me I'm dead wrong.
Oh, okay.
And I believe old Clark. Tug and Clark is my buddy.
He'll know better than us.
Maybe he could. Hey, call in. Can you call in, Tug and Clark?
What do we know?
Yeah.
It's your fault for listening to us.
That's the new name of the show is What Do We Know?
We're just talking ass, so I have no idea about the physics of
could be two dads sitting on the toilet talking to each other.
But it does, it can't suck you in that much if this dad was able to jump in, grab his daughter, then swim further enough.
On 3 Bahama Mama.
Yeah. I mean, because a cruise ship is going pretty fast. It's not slow. It doesn't give you much time to swim away from it. So I guess maybe if you get 10 to 20 feet away, then you're safe. You can't be right next to it. Think about how scared he was, though. It was at nighttime, too?
No, daytime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was less
more scary. Well, they said Disney employees were saying if it had been at night, that's probably not gonna.
Yeah, because they can't see.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Everybody out there on the deck support. I mean, imagine sunlight. Everybody's on the deck. You got 1,000 spotters out there looking for you.
Yeah.
During the daylight, that's great. At night, good luck. I think we got Clark. Hey, buddy, can you hear us?
sir.
All right. So, hey, so we're dead wrong on so that cruise ship, when the dad, 3 Bahama Mamas, he sets her up there, she falls off, allegedly. And then he jumps. How did he not get sucked in?
Well, on a cruise ship, you are displacing a lot more water. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a little harder, but that water is more of a circulation, and they have such powerful motors and large props. It actually pulls you towards the center of the boat. And even if you're like 20 feet away from it, it's going to push you. But if you're within like 10 feet, it's going to pull you. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
No, because the props are so massive and they're underwater, they're sucking so much, pulling. But will it actually pull you underwater and into the prop?
Oh, yeah. So in Cape Canaveral about 6 years ago, whenever COVID, but they were delivering lumber around, and one of the guys fell off the back of a tug fell off the side of the tug that was pulling, and then he lost both his legs.
Ooh,
man.
wow, that's rough.
Oh, my God.
So,
But you know what? If I pull up and the tugboat captain has no legs, I'm like, that's a good captain.
yeah.
I don't know why that builds trust in me, but
You
if I
have
see
to-
anybody on the sea with missing legs, I'm like, that guy knows what he's doing.
And your tugboat friends call you Lieutenant Dan forever after that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No,
You got to
right.
get peg legs, though.
Yes.
I would definitely have peg legs.
You know what I'd want to be called? Plug. Just
Now-
call me Plug.
That's with the smaller tugboat, but would that happen with a cruise ship?
Like I said, it's a little different with a cruise ship because of the displacement of the water. So there's a little bit more displacement. So if you imagine setting a cruise ship in the water, it's going to move all that water out of the way. But then as the cruise ship's moving, it's got cavitation underneath of it. And so water does come back under the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a possibility.
I'm writing down the word cavitation
Yeah.
real quick. Hold on.
Also,
You know what I heard real quick? I had heard, and Andrea told me this, that on some of the cruise ships, they have these pieces of, it's almost like metal that go further down on the sides to kind of almost protect you from being sucked under. Is that true?
That I don't know.
It's
I
like
can look into it.
it's
I'll
like
call somebody.
some boats have a thing on the side of it that almost like the trucks we were talking about, 18-wheelers have the thing that go down.
Yeah.
It's almost like they have a piece that goes further down to kind of
so that if someone does fall off,
or
and
anything,
the
debris, or
it doesn't get sucked in.
Yeah, I don't know if that
because you don't want anything sucked into the props because even if it's floating garbage, you don't want it sucked down there. That's what I was thinking. That it's like that they would design something or design it in a way that it wouldn't suck things into the prop because you don't want your prop damaged. Right. So even if it's some floating thing in the ocean, you're like, let's make this so it does not suck from the top of whatever's floating into the prop because our props are super expensive. You know? Anyway, well, Clark, thanks for.
One of the things.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. One of the things I would say on that is, the cruise ships, they lower and raise themselves as they come into port. They just load water into the boat, so it sinks them down a little further. So that's something I could probably look into, but that might make it a little harder to get down there to the props. But if they're coming out of port and you're close, their props aren't that deep.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you know what? I shouldn't have said anything. Because what the hell do I know again? Clark knows.
Clark, thank you for telling us how wrong we are and calling in to correct us. You are our favorite tugboat captain.
No worries, guys. Always a pleasure talking with you.
You too, man.
Clark.
Be good, buddy. Stay safe. I love that guy. He's so fun.
So
who would guess that we'd have this many big boat questions?
Now, the only other way this girl could have fallen off is if she climbed up there herself.
Totally could have happened.
Like on a chair or something.
Totally possible.
And then got up and then fell off.
But again, it doesn't happen. You don't hear about it.
Yeah.
If it was so fun for 4-year-olds to get chairs, drag them to the edge, and jump over, again, not to steal this line from you.
Yeah.
Why isn't this happening all the time?
Yeah. You know, in MSC, I noticed that they designed the boat where there are no railings that would fall directly into the ocean.
Yeah.
That you just fall the deck below.
Yeah, so you just break your head.
Well, yeah. Essentially, everything is like all the cabins are in the
it's like a
cruise ship.
They built it like a pyramid.
And then and there's like a bottom deck that is essentially a catch-all. And then below that, there's no balconies or anything that like the guests could fall over. So it seems like, at least they thought about like, hey, we want to stop this from even being a possibility.
Yeah.
Because, even though it's super rare, I think it makes people scared of bringing their kids on a cruise. Because
I
it's
know
not-
people that won't go.
you
I know
know.
like people that won't go just because they're like, I'm afraid I'm going to fall off.
When Crystal first brought the boys on the Tom and Dan cruise, she had a rational fear that they were somehow going to fall off. You know,
I think I did
parent,
too.
You know, like,
Yeah, I think I did too.
because the terrifying notion of falling into the middle of the ocean and being left behind by a cruise ship is the scariest way to, or one of the scariest ways.
Potion
to die.
is
You know?
the scariest notion of falling in the ocean is something the potion.
Yeah, swimming in a black ocean by yourself is terrifying. You know, like
Imagine you and Tommy
yeah.
laying on your backs in the ocean, looking at the cosmic star. I mean, the most stars you've ever seen,
Yeah.
not knowing what's under you, and nothing but utter black.
Yeah.
Just a black hole, just stars,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and you can't see any boats around you, and I mean, that almost makes me want to throw up.
Yeah. I was like, you think this is bad? Wait until the sun comes out and burns us while we float.
Like a old fish.
Yeah. Then we're gonna be constantly turning over and
Don't forget to rotate.
And the question is,
like
how long do we hold out hope?
Like a rotisserie chicken.
We're both logical.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna swim down as far as I can.
Hold the breath a little bit. All right. Just blow out and swim. Okay.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Adam and Wayne here from the Fish
Morning, afternoon. What time is it?
FISH-N-BRITS podcast.
Yes.
And they are doing a live show on iDrive tomorrow.
That's
Yeah.
right. Tomorrow,
Why
scoop up
not?
your tickets. Get them.
You still have time to get your tickets at fishandbrits.com.
Very easy to get your tickets. Go to the website right there at the top. You can
That's
see
it.
it. You'll click it. I did it myself just so I would know where to tell you to go.
Nice.
And
And to pick up
anybody
your
that's
ticket.
any podcast that is willing to do a live event is honestly, to me and Tom, top tier level podcast. Like if you are willing to go out and do it live and bust your ass for the people that appreciate the show, I think you're the bravest and the best. You're the best we got going.
Give us the review after we actually get through it tomorrow. This is the first time.
Yeah.
So like it all came about this show because we're doing this reality TV show for the UK at the moment.
I was going to ask you about that.
That one's going on. It's called Escape to Florida, and we apparently did that. But they were like, well, we want to feature you. Great, sounds good. A podcast is not visually exciting. Okay. What do you think you can come up with? Shit. Oh, goodness.
You're fine.
It wasn't me.
It was me.
Did you just say that?
It wasn't me. I didn't say it.
And they're like,
Oh,
well,
I'm so
we can do some things. And I'm like, well, what about live show? Us thinking, no, they won't want
Us.
that.
Wait, he says, let's do a live show, then looks at me.
Yeah.
What am I going to say now?
Well, that's how
We're
Tom
the-
and I did
Okay.
things. We make
Okay.
decisions for each other, and we drag the other along.
Sounds like it's going to go really well.
Will be great.
Yeah,
it's going to be all right.
But it will be
Well-
great because you guys are going to do all of the segments from the show. Yeah, walk
That's
us
right.
through
Yeah.
like, is it just going to be like it's like a me sitting there with
I don't
fresh
know.
bread?
This
I don't know
counts
what
as
we're
your
gonna do.
rehearsal, Wayne.
Yeah, thanks.
So-
Rehearsal 2 hours before the show
You're
goes
welcome.
live.
So yeah, we've got our friends from Buffalo, some of our sponsors, Parker's, the Great
Nice.
British Institutions, their name. I've literally just unpacked it. A 37-pound box of British food items is now in my house. I have
Awesome.
98 Cadbury's chocolate bars sitting in my house.
Yeah.
And
Tchotchkes!
hopefully still will have by the time I get home. Bryson's not home.
Oh,
so
That's
we're
delicious
all right.
chocolate. Yeah,
Um,
that's the good stuff.
So we're going through our 11s live on stage. We're going to break some Scotch egg V plates with people who've never had one of those.
Can we pause for Cadbury just a second?
Yeah.
A round of applause for eggs being year-round now.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about that? Yeah, my daughter, who after I think you guys had brought us some treats.
Oh yeah.
And then those treats always make it home to either Tommy and Max or Maisie.
Right.
And we love it when anybody on the show, shout out to Chris Crespo, who brings fresh croissant for Maisie. And your boys, you haven't been taking them. I haven't taken them. She eats the hell of them. But now they have the Easter eggs. They used to only be at Easter. And Cadbury likes that money. So they're like, open the gates.
Yeah, and it's money. I was like, how much?
Yeah,
Cadbury
they're not
Easter
cheap.
egg just
No.
tastes better.
Yeah.
There's
Better
something about
chocolate.
the thinness of it and
Yeah.
Well, I got something that ties into Cadbury eggs and Florida, and that's
He's got a gun.
and that's pain pills. And I don't know, did you guys live here when we had a pain pill crisis in Florida?
Yeah.
Are you going to
When
talk?
did I-
Are you going to tell the tale of when you danced with a Cadbury? No, I'm dead serious. This guy was this close to going to rehab.
No. Anyway, I had hurt myself, and then the doctor's like, "Here's a bunch of pain pills."
Do you want to
and
tell
I'm
how you
taking
hurt?
them.
He hurt
All
himself at a playing football.
Sure.
Hurt his shoulder really bad.
Yeah,
Really bad.
I had AC joint separation, a legitimate injury, but back in the pain pill days, the doctor's just like, here's more and more, whatever you want. Oh, you got feel pain? Because it turns out like 30 days, it won't heal at all. Like you'll still be like, oh, this guy hurts, more pain pills. Anyway, when you're on pain pills, you like chocolate for whatever reason. It's a weird thing.
And you like top tier chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
And my wife.
And she was feeding me Cadbury eggs.
My wife had bought Cadbury eggs and then buys different kinds. My wife loves chocolate.
Sure.
And then this is when we were first discovering that, like, the differences in chocolate and, how some chocolate, American chocolate, can taste like vomit and some, like, British chocolate can taste like heaven. So we started inching our way. And I know Cadbury's such a introductory level brand, you know, as far as it goes. But we started inching into that. She started bringing these Cadbury eggs over. And what was she just putting them on your chair for you?
Yeah, and then when you started the podcast.
Yeah, when we started the show, like 16 years ago, my
yeah.
wife would gift him every day because he had the shoulder injury.
Right.
He'd
I
come
was
in all
also-
hopped up on Oxycontin, and she'd be feeding him chocolate candy.
She's like, the eggs make him feel better. Yeah, it's the eggs.
They do. He was like, oh, it's so good.
I was also at my fattest. I don't know
It's got nothing to do with the
correlation.
pills.
Well, next time you bring eggs, I've got some Oxy in my cupboard at home. So we can just
look,
throw
I'm not here to promote drugs, but I will say that I have seen my business partner eat a three sleeve. I don't know what they have there, but that's a lot of rich chocolate. He ate a three sleeve.
Diabetes.
Let's talk about the Scotch egg.
proud of that. Okay.
So you're bringing people on stage. You're going to feed them some Scotch eggs.
That's right. We're going to force feed them. These are great. We've talked about them on the show, but this is what I consider, and Wayne should consider, the prime British snack food. It is a hard-boiled egg, wrapped in sausage, covered in breadcrumbs. Throw it in the fryer.
All right.
Done.
Delicious
Yeah,
treat.
and it's great.
It's
That's
a
awesome.
giant ball of.
It's one of our favorite things to find around town. Who's got the best Scotch egg?
Now,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
having them. I've only had them at a couple places, a couple pubs here in town.
Yeah, there's some good ones.
Are there? I mean, like, what about size? Are we talking here? Because like I've had them
baseball
before
size?
where
yeah,
they're
baseball.
yeah, I've had them before though where they're almost like they're inching into melon
Oh,
size.
that's too much.
Oh,
sauce.
It is too much.
Too
It's kind
much.
of gross.
Yeah,
Now
it's
that goes
overbearing.
against your egg to sausage ratio.
Yeah,
So it's almost like a breakfast in one bite, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
Is that kind of what we're going for?
It's a typical sort of a picnic snack. So 11's is
Yeah,
lunch.
just-
It's when you just want to carry on, and it just carries on well.
You feel like
in
you ate
the-
a sandwich
in the
when you're
fridge.
done. You're not
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I had a full meal.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, gotcha.
Snacky
It's a
snack.
snack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're good ones.
And what other things like British food? Because
We've got one of my favorite things that is bizarre: pickled walnuts.
That sounds good.
They're not bad.
That just blew his hair off.
I like things that are pickled. You know,
Yeah.
like, my wife and I were talking last night. We went to get pho, and then she was like, "I don't like baby corn," and I was like, "Why not? Does it taste like regular corn?" And
Right.
she's like, "Yeah, I think it does." I was like, "Well, then why wouldn't you like it? I'm a smaller man. Do you like baby? Do you hate baby men? Because you married one.
Yep.
You know, the rest of the full size men are walking around outside. You know, like I mean, I thought that was an excellent analogy.
I'd never eaten a walnut and said to myself, you know what'd make this better if it was softer and more pickly.
I said the same thing because we tried it on the show. That was one of the things he surprised me with. It was like,
Yeah.
pick, and I was like, on the show, I'm like, I've got to eat this now. You son of a, because he always sets me up.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's weird.
yeah, but
That's-
I
I
like
was
things
like,
that are
oh,
pickled.
Is that a
like-
bar food? In
Okay.
It sounds like a bar food.
It's more of a if you're having something on the side of like a cold meat lunch or dinner, something like that. Like you've got your leftovers at Christmas, cold turkey, have some pickle on the side. And that's
Okay.
one of them.
Yeah, you guys, it seems like you guys are big on little pickly or mustardy or little saucy side treats.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm into
Wayne
that.
is my
There's always
saucy
condiments.
side treat.
Yeah, you are quite the
Hello.
I'm down for a saucy side
There you
treat.
go.
Well, how you doing?
Yeah, like a little jelly. You know, put a little jelly in it, put a gravy on it.
There's a British food trend right now called picky bits. That it's whatever stuff you've got in your freezer, or your fridge, put it all in one place. We'd call it something fancy like your tapas or something. Picky bits, because they're bits that you pick at.
Okay, I like that.
Little
Tom
chicken
does.
nugget.
You do snacking sausage.
yeah.
He
I know a good snack of
He'll
sausage.
grill some sausages up and
Yeah.
he'll cut them into little pieces with toothpicks and mustard
Oh,
for the children.
See,
All
that's
right.
perfect.
Yeah.
I was recently in Europe, and Europeans don't do a good breakfast.
Whoa, my God. You invite them into our home
Hey.
I-
and
I-
then you
English?
spit in their face.
I'm just saying that I've been trying to find, because I've been.
I
I'm
think
like,
you
I
have
need to
one
talk.
of the best breakfasts because you had
Yeah,
beans.
this is the guy who was in
No.
the cabin. What were they serving? Moss
you
and
have
bird feathers?
You were peeing on the roof or
America's
something.
#1 breakfast. and I'm taking it.
America number one breakfast.
We have the
We
number one.
break
breakfast.
your back, make you humble.
I walked into some Swedish hotel lobby, and they're like, "Oh, we got a complimentary breakfast for you guys."
Hold on, a Swede breakfast is not a
not a
bread
British
breakfast.
It's all the same.
British
All
breakfast.
Europe.
I had a proper British breakfast at a British home, and it was a ginormous plate of everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I had like 3 sausages,
Yep.
some eggs, I had some weird toast, I had some bread that was
Fried
weird.
bread.
Fried bread.
Okay,
Yep.
weird bread is what I
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
that's
had
it.
some gravy things.
Tin tomatoes,
I had tomatoes.
black pudding,
Black,
baked
I think
beans.
I did have black pudding, which
Yeah.
I don't even want to ask what that is because I don't think it's good.
Yeah,
There
that's-
was tons of black pudding. I mean,
It's
I
your
just,
daily iron.
I went ham on the beans because we're a bean family.
Right.
The
Heinz baked
beans
beans.
and
They were
pudding
Heinz.
iron.
Yep.
And then they yelled at me because we were having some argument about. I was like, "Where's the HP sauce?" And the person was like, "HP, not in this house. We're daddy's only."
Oh, daddy
Oh.
sauce.
Right?
We've had
Am
that
I
debate.
right?
Am
We've
I
had
right?
that debate.
Do you see that? Do you see? I
Now
know what I'm
explain to me
talking
the
about.
difference.
So, I mean, like HP, I think HP is just like A1, but I don't want to get beat up by these guys. And I think Daddies taste just like A1 too.
I would say daddies does.
To me, they're both like A1. And then they're
brown.
HP is its own thing. That was the OG. That was the original brand. Daddy's is the knockoff, cheaper version.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one that I preferred, it was Daddy's.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a
Oh
big
my-
daddy
they'll
fan.
never be back.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I used to have daddies
Wait,
too.
Arsenal may get you back.
Yeah,
Arsenal,
so back in England, the one of the big spokespeople for daddies was the professional wrestler Big Daddy.
Oh, no way.
He was the biggest like wrestler of me growing up, and he's this big fat guy. It's Big Daddy sauce,
Yeah.
and he would just like body bump people, and that's how he won matches. It was crazy.
That's how
but,
you
I
got
love
the
that.
sauce.
But yeah, that's why I was like, let's try Daddy's because Big Daddy eats it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. That stuff works.
It's weird.
Feels good.
It's weird when a big fat guy is the spokesperson for any food because you're like, he likes all food.
Like he's gonna turn.
I
it
Like, I
trust
know
us-
you'd be eating anyway.
Yeah, I trust the skinny guy more because they're like, he's picky.
he's got
Anyway.
taste.
Okay, not to tangent too crazy,
No,
but
sure.
hardest part of planning this event. Let's get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we were talking off air a little bit about Tom plans a ton of events. This is your first event.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wanted to be successful. We wanted to be successful. Your listeners wanted to be successful. What's the hardest part?
For me, it's things make us laugh when we're recording the podcast. Things are entertaining to us. What will translate well to the stage? What will work in a live capacity versus something that we can control just with our voices and a bit of audio?
Yeah, what's the timing of it? Because usually it's like, we laugh and we're like, ha, we're done. But are those people going to keep laughing and we go, wait for them to finish?
Yeah.
So that's going to be weird as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So, yeah.
Uh,
I
and-
hope they're going to laugh anyway.
And just
They
having
will.
other people, I think what I realized on the way over is, okay, we're live entertainment people. We've been on stage, but we still have to make it something that's audibly interesting for people who are going to listen to it as a podcast episode.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of that going on.
It's a whole bunch of everything we've decided to do on our first event.
Yeah.
I think
We're
it's
doing-
cool and super brave because it's kind of like what we did. It's like there's no rules. Let's just try it.
Yeah.
And if it fails, and it won't, but we'll try something else.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this.
So
the hope.
This is how I've thought about this because I thought about like live podcasting a lot in our career.
A lot.
Too
much. I'll sweat if I think about
and
it.
I'll tell you, I've always thought about it wrong, but I can't help myself. And I'm like, when we're doing a live podcast, I'm more concerned about the audience and then just doing the podcast, even though that the audience has told me. And as a podcast listener, I would gladly go to a podcast that I listen to and just sit down and watch them do a podcast live, because that would be interesting, because it's like, hey, I've listened to these guys all the time, so it's cool watching them live.
I want to be a part of it.
And then I bet a lot of other audience members think the same thing. So it's just like, you don't have to do a live show for me. Just do the podcast. I'm watching it, and that's all I need. But
That's not good enough for you guys.
I can't get beyond. I
You're
need
like
to
him.
do a show for this audience.
But by the way, that is why I know, I can circle back to my last comment, why I know it won't fail. Because you care too much.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Yeah,
that's
he's
the
been
great,
on top of the whole thing.
But that's the
And
great
I'm like,
feeling, is that like you but that is the.
We do have a musical number to finish. So
Yeah, you'll get there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He sent me that video and I watched it last night going, I don't remember the second half of this at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
What
you're
dance?
right.
Do you have
It's
your
from our
dance?
childhood.
Do you have your dance ready to go?
It's a little thing that's happening.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of explains how the dance goes, and I'm watching him going, I don't remember any of those moves. And I go, is there a monitor that we can watch this? He goes, there's two massive television screens right behind us. I'm like, okay, guess I'll be doing the dance like this.
That'll be all right.
You'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be great.
And it's really rewarding once you finish the show and you're like, oh, let me get some feedback, and then you talk to your audience members and you're like, hey, how was it? You're like, and they're like, oh, I was so drunk I don't remember.
Perfect. That's the goal.
Or,
And then you're
or
like,
you'll get this
okay.
one, damn, I didn't know you were here.
all
You missed my
this-
dance number. I practiced like,
Come on, man.
I've literally been practicing that backstage for
The doors
3
open
hours.
at 7:15, and so does the bar.
Yes.
So we're
Yeah.
You know what you're
warming
doing.
up.
So, so get there a little early. So get
Yeah,
the-
absolutely.
yeah.
We've got a banger of a British playlist to play before the show.
Yeah, that was the one thing. That was my one thing. Hey, I've got some ideas for some tunes. He did the rest of the show.
Well, set the
okay.
mood. You got to set the mood.
Give me an
That's it.
idea of what's a British playlist.
All right, so we've got obviously a bit of Spice Girls on there. I put
Gotta
that
have
one
it.
in there.
Gotta have it.
Of course you did.
I did. Robbie Williams is in there. We got some Beatles, but not what you'd think. We've got Obla Di Obla Da.
How about some Gary Glitter?
Oh no.
He's hot.
You can't talk about him.
You know,
Yeah,
'cause
no,
of
that's
the-
why I said it.
Who is that? I
Yeah, he
don't
was
know.
in the news recently. For,
Yeah, because he wore a wig.
yeah. No, yeah. It was an underage thing.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's the bad
He's the
guy.
king of it. Yeah.
He's the king of it.
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta
no.
circle back around.
Yeah, he's
Is
the
he
king.
saying that now? I'm the king of underage.
He doesn't have to say it. All the evidence is there.
Yeah, it is.
You're telling me Gary Glitter's a pedophile?
Oh,
Yes.
with a capital P.
That was one of the funniest jokes at the time. I remember I was working on the morning show when this came out, and everybody was like, well, it's right there.
Yeah.
Man. It's right there.
Da-da-da.
Who else would be? Who is considered like? Is there a king of the kings? As far as is it Beatles?
Are we
Always?
talking music or pedophiles?
Music.
It's Gary Glitter.
Hold on, who's the king pedophile?
I think it's probably Gary Glitter.
Jimmy Savile's giving him a
Jared,
run.
Followed
for
by
the money.
Jimmy Savile.
Jared,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot about Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Jared from Subway is our big American.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
put American
Yeah.
pedophile versus British pedophile. Who wins? Pedophile wars. International. It's Tom and Dan at FISH-N-BRITS. International pedophile pet off.
5 kids fit in his old pants.
I think we'll have an issue finding sponsorship for that one.
I should not have said that.
I didn't say the worst thing on the show now.
You know, you literally could put 2 infants in the calves. You could maybe go 7 on that.
Back to Spice Girls. Are they still?
What a segue. Yeah, perfect.
He's the king of segues.
Are they still performing?
Oh God, I wish they were.
No, but
Or
they,
any, like,
I think they're
sing-
still buddies, right? And
Yeah,
they,
they're all friends.
Yeah,
They
the
appear-
one who's not is Posh Spice. She's over here in California. All the rest of them live over
Well,
there.
they're in Miami
and-
now, right? Are they in Miami?
So
'Cause
one of them
he's-
is, I think.
David does the Miami.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean all together, but like any of them still performing solo or something just off the
I haven't
popularity.
heard nothing.
You know, Mel
Mel-
C's doing a lot.
She
She's
does the America's
okay.
Got
Sporty
Talent thing,
Spice.
right?
She's the one who's got the best.
Because
Oh, yeah,
usually
performing-wise.
one or a couple of like groups haven't made the best financial decisions or didn't make
no,
as much
they all
the
did
other-
pretty good.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
Yeah, they did pretty good.
And-
but still have to work.
Percentage-wise, I think in all of the Spice, every single one, even there was a little bit of the
Was it equal?
when Mel C was with Eddie Murphy, it was
Yeah.
getting a little dicey, but and then she pulled it all
Yeah.
out, and then she did America's Got Talent, I think. So
Right.
I think they're all there. Even Jerry Holloway, remember Topless Photos? That made me a man.
Controversy.
And she's now a novelist.
yeah,
she was
she's
doing
great.
a book tour recently.
I think they all
all did good.
and I think percentage-wise, man, if you're just running the numbers on groups and people succeeding, If you look at, what was it, Take That?
Take that.
Robbie, I mean, a lot of those guys, not like Spice Girls. God,
No,
they all crushed
Gary
it.
Barlow went off to be more of a songwriter
Yep.
than anything else, but yeah, Robbie Williams went away and just
And
left the
then
rest
if
of
you
them.
go do, let's take, what's it called? One Direction, if you want to go a little newer.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, all of those guys, there's some tragedy there, like with the fall and, I mean, I don't know. I think Spice Girls maybe tippy top of success.
Yeah?
Let me
They had Barbie,
He'll
for
agree with
Christ's
that.
sake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they did.
Whether what?
You'd agree with any Spice Girls. You're a big
Absolutely.
Spice
I've
Girls
seen
fan.
them twice.
My wife is a massive fan. And I will say, she forced me to watch the Spice World movie.
Isn't it so bad it's good?
It's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth watching with a couple beers or a fish whistle or something. It's fun. It's very fun.
I just thought of another piece of advice I can give you for
Okay.
our live shows that we've done. How many live shows have we done, do you think?
Maybe 6.
I think it's been more, right? One on every cruise.
I
like,
didn't count those.
We've done improv. I think
We've done improv 3 times.
multiple times.
2 or 3 times.
Hard Rock
We
Live.
did Hard Rock Live.
And then we've done West End before multiple
Wayne
times.
Dench multiple times.
Wait, yeah. So, and then
Oh, downtown. You guys did the downtown one, right? Was that the last one?
Oh, yeah, we did do one downtown. You're right. When we did the wrestling, that was broadcast too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so plan an ending. Because I've often...
We've never had an ending for any show we've
I've
ever done, and we're
often-
so bad at it. We don't have a way to wrap it up, and we could
somehow-
have knocked it out of the park, and the ball will come back to us.
And sometimes...
no!
Goodbye! Somehow, this has happened multiple times where I've been on stage, we're doing the live show, and I've thought to myself, oh my God, I don't know how to end this.
How do I turn off the party?
yeah, like, oh God.
Do we just walk away?
There's no, like, you want to end big.
You know what?
Right.
You are right. I think we've had an awkward ending to everything we've ever done.
Yeah. And then I'm like, and then it was like, it's time, and the people are like rocking back.
We
up their
usually
seats,
end up
need to
just
end
like
this.
dancing, and then we'll like just dance to the side of the stage, and then like the lights will just slow, then the doors will lock, and then everybody wanders.
Everyone goes.
Yeah.
I think we're lucky in the way that our show we're sticking with the format from the podcast
Brilliant.
itself, including the
Smart.
because we have an intro and outro in the show in the podcast, and so we've kept that word for word as it will be in the live show.
Why didn't we ever do that?
Oh,
We have an
that's good.
outro. Why haven't we
Yeah.
ever? We have an ending theme song that we play every show,
Yeah.
and I never. That's how bad I am at this.
I only like planning the beginning.
Let it ride.
It's just like vacation, right?
Right,
I just
right.
want to get there.
Yeah. And then so you got British music.
Yeah.
You got British food on stage. Anything else on the show?
We've got we do a section in the show called what's it called? News headlines, news of the week, which are the weirdest headlines from around the UK. We've got some of those actually with visuals this time because we have big TVs. So that's going to be fun, and then we're going to be testing out some audience members on their British word knowledge. Found this deck of cards with all these different British slang on, and see how many Wayne's team or my team can get them right.
All right, I love that.
So I'm glad you brought up
Participation.
headlines because I was looking up some British headlines.
Great.
And there's a heat wave going on right now.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, heat wave, let me go and see how hot it's getting in London, let's say. And then it's like got up to like 92,
Yeah.
which is
Wow, that's pretty hot.
That's hot.
which is hot, especially when a lot of people don't have air conditioning.
No, that's the bit.
Where you're not prepared for it. Although it still gets down to the 50s and 60s at night. And that's all that counts. Like, no one knows hot unless you know Florida hot, which you guys are know.
It's
where
nighttime hot.
It's coming up. We're getting in August where it will get to only like 85 or 86 at night. And,
we all know the test, right? We
That's
all know
how-
the,
Yeah.
you know the nighttime test. Your dog needs to go out, or you forgot to take the trash out.
Yeah.
So me, I'm in a townhome, so I got to go down flights of stairs. So you run down flights of stairs, and you either do the dog or you do the trash, and then you go up. And by the time you get up back into your room, you're sweating.
Yeah.
And you
Oh,
were
yeah.
only outside 35 seconds
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
one little
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But now you feel like you need to take another shower and you can't get in your bed.
So all I'm saying is you're not getting sympathy from me when you're a British heat wave when it still gets down to the 60s
But they're
at
not
night.
prepared for it.
No.
I feel
No.
like
Yeah, the
I always
60s.
think of like an old British grandma or someone. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
of her, like that lady is not. She's been through some world wars.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think she's ready
No,
for.
I'll just open the window.
Yeah.
It's like,
Don't
cool,
do
hot
it.
air
You're
blowing
gonna,
through
you're
the
gonna
house.
die. Don't
Just,
do it.
just wait it out a couple hours, Granny. It's getting down to the 60s. You see what I'm saying? If it's in Florida, we 85 at night. That's still hot. There's no escape. Anyway.
I've been awake since 4 a.m.
No,
I'll wait 12 hours.
My mum likes to send me the temperature because I obviously don't have a way to find that out myself. And a couple of days this week she's told me that it's hotter there than it is in Florida. Of course, she tells me when I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, well, of course it's different. She sent that 5 hours difference, but
But in mom math, it still counts.
Yeah, it
man.
still
You gotta-
counts.
Oh wow, mom, you're right. Wow.
wow, good job.
Yeah.
How long is the show? Have you planned it out?
Good question. 90 minutes is what
90
we're aiming
minutes,
for.
okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Yeah, that's the standard length of our special episodes, so we're going to keep it as that.
We'll try to, as long as I can shut up.
And
Yeah.
when can we see the show? Are we gonna? Those of us that aren't British, are we gonna be able to see and partake in the?
That's your department.
The reality show.
We're doing two versions. We got a new friend of ours who's come in, and he's going to record the show that we're going to slap up on the YouTube. So you'll be able to see it that way. And then, of course, we can talk about the British TV. They're coming to film it for the show that we've been doing.
Escape to
so-
Florida.
Escape to
We don't know
Florida.
how people are going to be able to watch it here yet. We're sure they will, but it'll
Trying to
probably,
figure it out.
It'll probably be some getting a legal VPN thing.
I do that all the time
can't do
anyway.
it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
So,
it's funny. I don't think
yeah.
that's illegal anymore because they took away our porno, and I feel like you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, look, it's like I got to do what I got to do to protect my family.
Mm-hmm.
You see how good that sounds? You see how good that
there you
sounds?
go.
I
It
didn't
was
even have to
the
put anything
delivery.
behind it. I
I
just
was
had
like,
to say it
that
and
makes
keep my
sense.
face straight. And if I could do that, then people believe it. You could say that to anything.
Oh, also,
my family.
put food on the table.
That's a good one. Look, man, I'm just trying to keep the lights on in here.
Yeah. I like when a
Food, lights,
professional
Air
ath-
conditioning, it's hot outside.
a professional athlete brings up food on the table or paying the bills, and it's like you're talking about making $8 million, you're like more money than someone to make in
Food
their
on the
lifetime.
table.
Yeah.
I saw in starting
Rich.
5, you spent $480 at Buffalo Wild Wings. $480.
Yeah, that was
I
nothing.
saw
You're-
that on the reality show. I saw that in starting 5.
Okay.
You don't need money.
Yeah.
I can't spend $500 at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Endless
Well, with
wings.
the price of wings right now, that's 20 of them. That's
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Yeah, have you seen how much college players, not to change the subject, guys, but are making with NIL? Now, recently heard, you know how college players when they make it to the NFL, they do they bring them up and they make the whole team, they tell the whole team what their signing bonus is. Now they're making them tell their signing bonus and what they got paid in college. And what they got paid in college is way
I
more.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, so
I'd have them bully me. I'm
and
like, well, you're just gonna have to
so-
spank my bare bottom or put the grape in my cracker.
So-
I'm not telling you.
So
what I make.
they're like, oh, signing bonus $50,000. I made $300,000 in college last year. So
Wow.
how weird that is, you
It is
know?
weird.
And
that's wild.
Yeah.
I think it's also. Do you think? And this is like purely a money question, not a sports question.
Sure.
Do you think that this will make less professional athletes because some guys will understand that you can make decent money in college, earn it, and then just go into a career and save your body?
it'll make college student athletes stay there longer.
Yeah.
And so now they'll just be, if you're making good money and you're looking like, hey, I only have a 20% chance of making the NFL, and even if I did, I'd be making bottom money.
Yeah, what's the
and,
point?
Yeah, I'll stay here for a couple extra years because, Ohio State's paying me.
Feels a little bit
You know,
more
yeah.
British soccer farm system, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel?
I'm just currently blown away. I didn't realize until this moment that college players get paid.
Well, we don't have what
Yeah,
I mean. Like
because
I
of
think
NIL.
I do think it's a direct result of the farm systems that soccer has been using in Europe and
Yeah.
South America, where they've been funneling these players since they were like 10, 11 years old, and they just work them up through the ranks. I mean, this way, at least some of these players can get compensated.
See,
and
it's the Premier League teams who have the youth teams and all of that stuff. This the whole college thing. That's
but aren't they talking about working affiliates with? I've seen some rumblings of colleges working affiliation with sports franchises to almost link it up.
oh.
Well, it's become it was obvious to everybody, like these athletes, they're not getting much from their college education, but in quotes, they're making an insane amount of money for the school playing, and like the school's monetizing this, and so these students deserve something, and then they wrapped it all into NIL and like, hey, we're going to pay you for your likeness for you can get paid for advertising. No one's advertising anything. It's like all these players are just getting paid directly by the school, just like you would do professionally. Like they're not like having some sort of contract with the local restaurant company or whatever,
it's
like
straight
Ford.
from the college.
Yeah, it's like they're not endorsing anything. So then they're just paying them, and then now it's like it's a business, and the actual whole going and getting your education part of it, which has always been kind of BS to begin with, is now just like, all right,
well, it wasn't to our
we gotta
mothers,
pay these guys.
right?
Yeah.
It wasn't to my mom. It was to me always. Like I always knew the college was going to be a bit of a joke, but it matters to our mothers because they want us to get through.
Well, but also these athletes, they're not.
No. They're there to play, not to be.
Yeah. That's their career.
Amazing scholars or anything like that.
So back to the show for a second, and
we like to dance around so much that we confuse our audience into not listening. I don't know if you're.
Now they're buying tickets to college football.
Yeah.
games.
We're not sure if you
They
guys
serve
are.
sausage rolls at a college
FISH-N
football game.
Brits
You
Pro
guys may
Bowl?
not be familiar with this way of fishing for people to buy tickets to your event, but you confuse them real good, and they have to buy.
now, is it a coincidence you guys are doing it on iDrive, and there's more British tourism in iDrive? Did you do it there for that reason? Or?
Pure coincidence because I got the theater for free.
No,
Yeah.
Because I was like, it
I
does
know.
tie into
Free theaters are the best theaters.
Yeah, we're so thankful.
Yeah,
that's
man.
it.
Shout out to those guys
It's
for being
part of-
awesome.
It's
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
Pirates Dinner Adventure. It's the variety theater that's attached onto it. Beautiful theater, 180 seat.
I'm a big Pirates Dinner Theater
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
No, they've been very good to us.
Yeah, I'm
so.
a dinner. I am Mr. Dinner. I am a dinner theater boy.
There you go.
I like entertainment with my grub.
Yeah, we did that thing at Arabian Nights.
Yeah, I
was
really
the
do,
genie.
man. I'm such a mark for
Yeah.
all dinner theaters. It was very tough for me. I was just in Pigeon Forge for the dance competition
Oh, yeah.
we were talking
Yeah.
about. It's very difficult for me to. It's hard to decide. They've got too many.
Yeah.
They had a Paula Deen chainsaw lumberjack fight you can go to.
I'd watch that.
And the lumberjacks fight in the trees. Like they have two big, and then they have a Hatfield and McCoy.
The Hatfield and McCoy show. Yeah,
Yeah, they have a
my fan. We go to the same place. That's why I was like, I know exactly where he is
Yeah.
and what he's doing.
There's so many
Yeah.
dinner shows there. You could spend like 2 weeks and not hit them all.
Yeah, they're like next door to each other and then across the street. Like, which one do I go
There's
to?
like
That
18
sounds
dinner
good.
shows, and
Yeah,
I
that
feel
sounds
like
good.
I want to go there
Pirates,
as
the
an old
Pirates
man
show
before
there?
I die. I'm going to do that.
They've got the competition, the Pirates one, and they just built one up in Jacksonville, somewhere up there.
Oh.
As well. Yeah.
And the one is the one still in Anaheim.
Yeah, that's our one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's ours in California.
I love those. They're
Yeah,
so
good
man.
times.
Yeah, swinging on ropes, falling in the water.
That's
Yeah,
how. That's
yeah.
what I got my start in when I moved here. I moved in to do the Wild Bills dinner show down in Kissimmee. Did you remember that? The Wild Bills at Fort Liberty show.
I do remember, and now
That's why I
I'm
started
going to
there.
guess that you were using some of your roping.
Yeah, my dad was the knife thrower in the show.
Did
so
you
he
know
threw
this?
knives at me
Really?
and shot arrows
Did you
at
know
me.
that,
Yeah.
Wayne's? Did you know what he? Do you know this guy could like literally
You
lasso
got dinner
me?
show heritage.
Do you know he could lasso me?
Really?
Like he could like literally like he could ride by on a horse and lasso me and drag me through the Baldwin
It's been a
Street.
while since I did that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well, let's make a dinner show out of that.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm game.
So your dad was a knife thrower.
Yeah, my dad was a knife thrower, and he did a bow and arrow act where he shot balloons out my mouth and off my head and all that stuff. And he was a world champion. He was a Guinness Book of World Records holder. He's a legend. He's in the International Knife Thrower Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah.
One
he
of the
was,
coolest
he was
guys
the
I've
best.
ever met.
he was a legend. He was amazing. So that's how I got my start. Was in that show. And then I saw this trick roper there. His name is Jack Fulbright, and I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool! Look what he's doing with those ropes." And I picked him up, and it just came natural to me. And then I started doing my own shows, and I won the national championship out in Vegas in 2001. And then I started doing my own thing with the ropes, and I crack whips, and I do all the whip back. And
Can you throw a knife?
I don't really throw them at people because I was never that confident, but yeah, I can stick them in, and yeah. Well, you want to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, I was gonna put something on my head and have you throw it at it.
Hey, it was the first time for everything. Might as
Put
well,
my
right?
college diploma up there.
Yeah.
So did you grow up watching your dad like practice throw knives and like do all this stuff?
Yeah,
That
so
does make your dad instantly cool as dad.
Oh, he was
Because
the
if your
best.
dad's a knife thrower,
Yeah.
even trumps astronaut on career day, I think. Right? I think knife thrower wins.
We keep saying we're going to do a special about my dad, but sometimes I have a hard time talking about him because I lost him like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Man.
And it gets like, well,
I
you
feel
know,
you.
so, but
feel
he
you.
just did my dad's life. Like I would tell him like, we have to write a book. And he's like, no one would believe it. You know, like no one would believe this stuff. He grew up with the Beatles and you know, we're from Liverpool. So my uncle, his brother was in the bands in the Cavern and all that stuff. And my dad roadied all the bands from Liverpool. And so he knew the Beatles and Paul,
That's
John.
wild.
My dad always said, he says, I knew John before Paul knew John. And you know, he said, I did poetry when I was like 12 years old, and John was there at this club that, you know, his brother took him to, and that's how that relationship started. And you know, different things happened, and
Unreal.
there's so many. It's too much to go into now, but we'll do
That's
a thing
nuts.
at some point.
Yeah,
but
we should talk about it at some point.
yeah, absolutely.
I love the fact that you dabble in like some of the things that I like. I wish I knew how to do. Like he dabbles in like he does some wrestling and he has some managing.
yeah.
And he
I
does
just did a
some-
show on Saturday. That's why I was limping in here.
And you're kind of inching into like, I don't want to say carnival because I don't want to be rude. I want to be respectful, but you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah,
that
do it all.
it's like real.
Say
state-
carny.
Yeah,
Thank
Carney.
you, thank you.
It's proper British.
Don't say
It's a real
trans, say
Carney.
tranny. They love that. But like it's you,
Vaudeville is how we've described it.
yeah,
This
like
is what
Yeah,
we
that,
do.
yeah.
it's like live. It's like, oh, you want a show? Set the stage up. We're doing it now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like that is, and I've seen, and he wears the full Western, like the 2-color pressed Western shirt with the hat.
Yeah.
And
bolo
and the
tie?
black
Yeah.
jeans, right?
Yeah,
like
black jeans,
and he
boots,
looks like
belt, big belt buckle.
Brooks and Dunn. I'm a hard working man.
True story.
Yeah, you look good.
You've been
dude.
following my stuff. That's crazy.
I'm a big fan, man. I'm a big
Oh,
fan.
thanks, buddy.
But like I'm like I love that kind of old school because also it kind of feels kind of Florida because my dad would take me. We'd be driving down the road and there would be a thing happening and we just pull over and there'd be like a guy doing a talent and you'd tip the person.
Yeah,
you know?
back in the 90s when I moved here, there was
You know?
like all these roping conventions were happening all over the place. So you go in, there's like 12 guys cracking whips. I'm like, where did these guys come from? And you know, and then the
Roping
spinning ropes.
convention?
Is that where you learn how to crack a whip? Like
Yeah. We had to practice the other night, but
Whip
because
my
then
bloody
maybe
hand.
I don't know, then maybe a comeuppance to somebody during our live performance.
Oh,
But
good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
So yeah, we've got to do these conventions of like all the old timers from like the 50s and 60s rodeo style. And they'll just sit there and judge everybody. Yeah, you don't know how to handle a rope, and you know. And
Yeah.
luckily, I got to learn from some of the greatest trick ropers that have ever been. One of them is Vince Bruce, and he was a British guy, but the greatest trick roper. I mean, this guy could do stuff. You'd be, how does he even think about trying to do that? And then, of course, my buddy Jack Fulbright, he was just another like, what?
Oh, man.
That's the guy that made me go, what is this? And that led me to get to meet and be introduced to all these legends. Jackie Reinhardt was a 15-time world champion, ended up becoming my adopted grandfather. And he lived with me on my dad's property. My dad had 5 acres down in
A
Kissimmee.
15-time champion.
Yeah. I mean, he was like a rodeo god at one point in his life. And yeah, you know, and I learned from him. So
Where are the Cowboys in England? Like what area would they, or is it like how does that? I mean, like if you're a great British roper, where does that come from?
yeah, I mean,
like,
it's circus, you know, a
Yeah,
lot
is
of,
it
lot
more
of
of
circus
that
acts.
than like
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like I'm trying to trace it, like, you know, South America, we have the certain
there was
area
no
of
real
cattlemen
rodeos.
there.
Yeah, like Vince started off in circus, I think. I probably got that wrong, but and
That's
then he got
awesome,
onto
man.
a spot on TV, which was like an America's Got Talent at the time. I can't
Sure.
remember the name of the show. And then from that, he got to come to America and do a show, and then he just took over. And then he got with all these, you know, the Charo ropers from Mexico and stuff.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
learned that style, and then they're like, he can do this too. So he really
That's
got
really
to work.
cool,
and,
man.
Because a lot of the entertainment comes from the seaside towns. They would do a big summer stock show every summer. All these variety acts. That's where you
Blackpool, Pleasure Beach. and all
yeah
that
you
stuff.
guys worked
Blackpool.
down in Bournemouth at the same
Bournemouth,
time as
the big
my
center.
dad as well. We found out as well.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
They were working around the
That's
same
a
time.
coincidence. Like we never knew each other till here, and my dad worked in the same venue in Bournemouth, South England, at the same time his dad was producing a show.
Your dad in entertainment
So-
as well.
Yeah, he's
That's nuts.
yeah, he's been in entertainment as long as I can remember. He was in the original cast of Oliver in the West End.
Holy smokes!
He was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He's friends with a little guy called Phil Collins.
Oh yeah, that old guy.
Yeah, my granddad.
I regret not seeing him, and now he's so frail.
know.
And I watched that documentary on YouTube that they
The
did.
Drumeo.
It's not
Go
great.
find the Drumeo
yeah, I
documentary
watched
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
You find it and watch it later after you're done listening to this. But watch Phil Collins on Drumeo,
Yeah.
and I cried. It's so sad.
Pretty bad to watch.
My granddad set up a agency for children to work in theaters with Phil Collins' mom. They had a business together.
Whoa.
And so that's how my dad and Phil got into those things. Dad had grown to be too tall by the time they did the movie of Oliver, so they moved him to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang instead because
There
they
you
were
go.
filming at the same time. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah, and then you guys
See, we are interesting.
So then you guys didn't
not just pork pies.
You didn't know each other,
Uh-uh.
and then you both wind up in entertainment in Florida and
Yes.
meet each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wild.
In the same role at one of the
At
fairgrounds.
one of the fairgrounds.
And I wound
Yeah,
up in
yeah.
entertainment. This is how genetics work in entertainment. My parents were divorced. I didn't see my dad or have contact from the age of 3 until 17.
Oh wow.
And in that time, I'd grown up into entertainment as well. And so when we connected again, we had so many similar things that we were working on. I was doing lighting design. He was a lighting designer, things like that.
What?
Yeah.
Without even knowing.
Without knowing it.
Without even knowing what was going
Oh
on. Yeah,
man, that
crazy.
really makes
Isn't
a
that a cool
case for-
story.
That
He
really
told me
makes
that, I
a
was
case
like,
for Tom's
what?
old in the blood thing. He's
Oh, yeah.
He's always yelling in the blood. All of this guy. He's like, nobody can. It's in the blood. Can't change. It's in the blood.
No, it absolutely is.
Yeah, you know,
That's
it's like,
wild, man. What a great story.
how awkward was it when you met your dad at 17 for the first time, like in that long of a time? Like, is it?
Strangely, not too awkward at all. We'd been communicating on email for about a year prior to me actually coming on over here.
Yeah.
To visit. It was, I don't remember it being awkward at all. That was 2005. So a solid 20 years ago. now,
Wow.
but,
Did you
yeah.
guys like when you watch the TV shows, like you reunite with like some loved one that you haven't seen or a parent, and they always have like this weird lunch at TGI Fridays where it's just sitting there. I mean, obviously the film crew makes them like, hey, we need you guys to go out to lunch and talk, because what is it with film crews? Always making you're like, the podcast isn't good enough. Do a live show. That's what we need.
What is it?
We can't just film you having a talk in your living room. We have to go to TGI Fridays. You have to sit there.
You're not interesting. Dance.
Yeah. And,
TV's fake.
so
And this is the first time they're meeting. Cue the riblets. And give me a 2-shot.
I asked for the hot skillet for action.
Right?
so you can still get tickets for
I
the
love
show.
their
Yeah,
fajitas.
absolutely.
That's going on tomorrow at FISH-N-BRITS.com.
Yep.
It's an iDrive at
Say it.
I can't even read my writing. Teatro Martini.
Yes,
You did
Teatro
it.
Martini.
He did it.
I
Teatro
mean,
Martini.
it took me like 18 times as well. I was like, Teatro.
That was a 1 in 100 guess.
Say just off Carrier Drive. So much easier.
Yeah. Teatro Martini. Doors open at 7:15. Bars open at 7:15. Shows at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Tickets
go there.
$10. We're cheap.
$10.
Tickets,
yeah.
cheap night out. It's gonna be a good time. Full bar for you guys to enjoy.
Yep.
And
I'm
go
not paying for
support
that.
We're
your
not paying
local
for that. You
podcast.
can enjoy it. but-
Support
yeah.
local podcasts because these guys are doing big things. I can't wait to see the show. I can't wait to see the television show. All of it.
Thank you,
Congrats, guys.
Hey,
Thanks.
thank you guys
Thank
so
you
much
guys.
for
Man,
your support and
always
always
a
liking
pleasure.
and sharing our stuff. And it really is like a community, because we know Ross and Joel and everybody.
Oh, yeah,
and,
man.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone's like liking each other. And I think that's another thing that's kept us like, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is a cool thing. So
Well, all
thank
the other
you guys
podcasts
so
stopped
much.
doing it. They're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, screw
you
those
know,
guys.
you noticed that.
And
They're
we're just crossing our fingers that one of you guys get
Yeah,
more
yeah.
famous than us. And then we're
Come
like,
on,
take us
British
with
podcast
you.
Beatles. Let's go
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Come on.
And,
Where
and,
did you get your start?
Yeah.
Tom and Dave?
I went through that move where we hold on to the outside of the rocket. We're like, well, get there too. Anyway, thanks,
Well,
guys.
thank you guys for coming.
Thank you
in.
guys
so
Snag
much.
those tickets, and guys, we will see you tomorrow.